I was diagnosed with melanoma when I was 24. It was on my chest. My mum found it, actually. We hadn't seen each other in about 3 months, and we went out for lunch one day, and I happened to be wearing a V-neck top, and her eye just went straight to it, and she said, "That thing on your chest has changed. I want you to go see someone about that now." And me, being a 24-year-old who thought I was completely invincible, didn't. I promised her I would go the next day. My friend and I remember very clearly, we had tickets to the midnight screening of Twilight New Moon, which we'd been waiting for about a year, and that was all, that was on my to-do list for that day, and nothing else was going to get in the way of that. And so we went to the screening, probably didn't get home till about 4 a.m. And so when I woke up the next morning, I didn't want to go to my appointment. I wanted to sleep. And then it wasn't until my mum called me again that morning to make sure that I was going to my appointment that I was like, all right, I'll go. And then I went. It was just a regular skin cancer clinic. And I went in and I sat down. I must have been wearing the same top, and he said the same thing. He was like, "Are you here about that thing on your chest? Because that's got to come off." He then reassured me that it probably wasn't going to be malignant because I didn't have a family history, which was probably the other reason why I was so blasé about the whole thing. And he took it off. He did a biopsy. He sent it away. I went on about my business, and then he called me a couple of days later and said, "Can you come back in and can you bring someone for support?" Which, kind of knew then that it wasn't great news. And then I went in, me and my dad, and he had my results there on the table. And he was already on the phone to hospitals as I walked into the office, and I could hear him talking, and he was trying to get me in for surgery. And he was on the phone to the closest one that he'd be able to get in. They said, "We can get her in tomorrow or Friday." And I just remember him saying on the phone, like, "She doesn't have till Friday." And so my first surgery he did then and there in his skin cancer clinic office, because he was like, "I need to get it out. I need to cut more out." After that surgery, those results got sent away. They came back. They said they needed more surgery, more skin. Pretty much it was just a series of surgeries. By this time, I was in the cancer centre at RPA. And over a period of about 3 months where they just kind of kept cutting out more and more of my chest, basically trying to work out where it had spread to and at what point it had stopped. And then finally, 3 months later, they was diagnosed with stage 2 and told that they were now 100% sure that they had got it all. And then from then on, it was just a lot of checkups. I think from then on, I was checked every 3 months. Mainly making sure that it hadn't spread, that it wasn't going to show up somewhere else. They were, because it was so close to my heart and so close to my glands, their biggest fear was that it had gotten into my lymph nodes, and there was a lot of talk about where to go from there. But in the end, they decided to, it was to just wait and see. And very luckily, it hadn't spread into my lymph nodes. So in that way, I was very much one of the lucky ones, because it would have been a whole other ball game if it had. And then that's when my life kind of shifted, and it all became about, prevention and, talking to other people about it and educating myself about it, which was the most important thing. And so now I'm basically the sunscreen lady. That's what my friends call me. If I could speak to 16-year-old Monica, I would say, don't worry about it. There's going to be amazing breakthroughs in spray tans later in life. Don't worry about being tan now. It's not important.